Hello there, and welcome back to another Starfield video. Today we're going to be checking out the Custom Cargo Plus by Tia the Italian Ace. So I did check this mod out originally on stream Tuesday. So this is a paid mod. It is 600 credits, and I will say straight off the bat, she's a little bit on the pricier side given what it does. So the gist of it is that it adds a new kind of gameplay loop, kind of. It's more so like a kind of a role play loop where every time you do a cargo mission, you have the option to put on specific like cargo modules to your ship, and then you get like a little kind of a docket or like a bill, and then you basically, once you sell the cargo, you can sell the little waiver and stuff. It also adds a couple of new parts. So yeah, let's just jump into it, shall we? I will be testing this on Xbox, so yeah. Alright, so we're in game now. I don't know where my ship is. We're gonna get it back real quick. So I'm gonna show you the new items it adds.
Okay, no problem.
From the get-go. So here's the ship. So straight away, one thing you will notice is these Store Max cargo holds have been modified. So originally, the Store Max cargo holds would kind of, the containers, they would stick out. They actually kind of would stick out past this piece. But the mod author has changed them so that they now kind of have this like 4 sections. Now, initially I got excited because I thought that meant that the that had like a realistic kind of cargo meter. So, you know, the more cargo you have, the more it fills up. That's not the case. So if we go into the cargo section, and we scroll all the way down, you'll notice, so we've got 4 of them. So the 30 has 1 of the 4 kind of cargo filled. The 40 has 2 cargo filled. The 50 has 3 cargo filled, and then the 60 has 4 cargo filled. So that's, I mean, that's kind of an interesting change. Initially I didn't know why they changed just this, but you'll see in a minute. They kind of, it's to align with some other stuff. So the other 2 things it adds is if we go to the landing gear section, or we'll do the engine first. So if we go to the engines, we've got a new A-class engine. I can't find what. Oh, what do I need? I need unique carrier rank 1. There's a new perk I should probably show you first. Not bad. So if we excuse me, my good man. So it adds a new perk in social. I don't know why it's in social. I feel like it should be more in the ship thing, but carrier increases the custom way bill payout by 2% of the delivered cargo value. And then it goes up to 10%. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know very much when it comes to, maybe that is maybe that's the terminology of it, but it says there's always a need for reliable couriers and the better ones earn more. I don't know if waybill is the right terminology for it, but yeah. So we're going to grabbing that. Oh, it actually has, that's cool. That's actually quite cool. So yeah, so once you have that, you're going to be able to unlock the other stuff.
Okay, no problem.
So we're gonna go and we're gonna look at engines real quick. Engine. We've got one singular A-class engine called the Mule XL01. It's got A-class, 2 power, 5,000 engine thrust, 1630 maneuvering, 60 engine health, 10 hull. So it's a little bit. It's kind of somewhere between the A-class White Dwarf and the 10, and then the 1020 or the 1000s, as you can see there. It's got slightly more engine thrust than the White Dwarf, but it's got more or less maneuvering. Let me actually check. Is it based on something? I don't know if it's based on anything. It seems to be its own custom thing. Yeah, it seems to be based on its own, like, its own unique stats, which, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess. Let me just, there's one more I want to check. Oh, we don't have them here. Okay, cool. The engine itself, it's quite cool. It looks interesting. It can snap to anywhere, really. And then the other unique piece we have is if we go to landing gear, we've got the Nova E99 landing gear. This provides 5 landing thrusts and 10 hull. The description both says, experimental landing gear are always funny. This one is reliable, powerful, and a real beauty, but expensive, and you need it. And that's the same thing, experimental engines are always funny. This one is reliable, powerful, and a real beauty, but expensive, and you need at least 1 rank of... So yeah, so they're both supposed to say, but you need at least 1 rank of the perk to buy, but it seems to be cut off. Let me really quickly show you. So I will say these landing gear, they're quite cool. Again, the whole price of this. So I will say, like 600 credits, which is around €6. Personally, I feel like if you're going to charge over €5 for a mod, you're expecting your players to basically shell out a tenner or $10. That's the minimum you need to buy. Not a fan of that personally. I think that if you're going to, you know, go over that limit, it needs to be very, you know. Yeah, that's the new items, and then we have the now I will show you how to actually make use of the mod. So let me just real quick. So we're gonna save that. Is my ship still there? Okay, cool. So you go to any of the locations where you can do the cargo missions, any cargo mission, vanilla, and you basically gonna grab one of the quests. So here's the thing, right? So this adds extra kind of steps, optional steps to the cargo missions that you can miss if you're not paying attention.
Howdy.
So you go to the mission board and you grab one of these supply, are we supplying? Okay, no. Deliver nanobots to Aquila. So we're going to deliver nanobots to Aquila. We're going to grab it. And then that mission's there. Now, if you don't read the description of the mod, you can be like, oh, okay, what happened now? So what you're supposed to do now is once you've unlocked that mission, you get a new item in the shipbuilder, which we will go and look at very quickly.
Hey.
Hey there.
Been looking for you.
What can
We
I
go
do?
modify
Okay.
ship. We're just gonna remove this one real quick. Modify ship, and then you go to cargo, and you'll see here we have a Stormax CC nanobots, cargo 400. It costs nothing to put on, so we put that on there. And then once I will say it has like a custom like look to it, and there is multiple variants, which is quite cool. So once you put that on there, we're gonna back out, and now we're ready to go. But before we go, we gotta grab our waybill, as it's called. So there's what it looks like. I think that honestly, I think that looks quite cool. Personally, I think it looks, you know, pretty cool. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to go to the ship. We want to go to the cargo hold. And in the notes section, we will have the cargo waybill nanobots. It currently has a value of 0. We're going to grab that so that that's in our inventory. And it's in our inventory. And now we're just going to deliver the quest. So just like you normally would. I will say I haven't done too many of these these missions just because they don't pay an awful lot considering what you do.
Welcome to Freestar Space.
Welcome to Freestar Space. Yeah, whatever you say.
You can be on your way.
Let's travel over there. Whee! Alright, we're gonna really quickly dock and we'll be back. Alright, and then once you board, the mission will complete. And then you gotta give it a second. So if we go into our notes, it'll initially say that it'll have a value of 0. I think there's a script running in the background. You give it a second, and eventually it should turn into money. All right, it's still, as you see, it's still like kind of value of 0. Oh wait, no, did it just change there? Right now it's worth 23,000. Now obviously it's not going to be worth exactly that. So now you can sell that at any vendor. It says to, well, not any vendor. It says to sell it at the Trade Authority, which we'll really quickly go do that. Let's land in Aquila City real quick. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, I don't think it's worth it for a couple of reasons. I think the price is the biggest kind of issue with it. So for 600 credits, essentially what you're getting is 2 permanent options, like 2 new parts in the engine and the landing gear. They've changed they have changed the cargo. See, the cargo is still there, by the way. You have to actually take it off. It doesn't do anything. We're just gonna really quickly go over here, and we're gonna sell a little bill. Ta-da. There we go. 3K for it. Now, one thing I will say is that it's a bit delayed. Sometimes it takes a minute before like the option will be there to sell it.
Yes. Can I get an invoice?
You should inspect your ship. Okay, no problem.
So yeah, and then you can take this off if you want. It doesn't seem to be any negative effect if you keep it on. But yeah, I feel like at the price, like if this was like maybe like 100 credits, maybe 200 credits, I would recommend it. But currently I can't because it's too pricey. Not to mention that like the whole thing about like, you know, adding the cargo modules to like to make the kind of the, you know, to do the mission, it's all completely optional, which is a bit, you know, a bit weird. Like if it was the sort of thing where, like, let's say for instance, that like, right, so let's say when you would, in order for you to start a cargo mission, you would need like an empty one of these. Like imagine if, let's say for instance, there was in your cargo, you had a couple of like empty store max, so like there was nothing in them. And then once you once you accept the mission, it would add the items to it. So like you had a visual change. That would be kind of cool because then it would feel like you're doing something. But it just seems kind of convoluted to be like, okay, I've got the objective and all this stuff. Let me just now add it to my ship so that I can see it, you know. And I believe it is possible because we've seen other mods that have made it that you can see your like cargo interior, like, you know, the filling it up and stuff. But yeah, all in all, it's I don't know. I wouldn't really recommend it personally. I think that the mod author needs to, and this is something, obviously no offense to the mod author themselves, because, you know, like they put out some interesting mods. I'm not going to, you know, crap on them necessarily. But I do get the feeling that like they're not really fully aware of the pricing going on with the, you know, with the game itself, because it's just very expensive. Like 600 credits, Vigilance has came out recently, and Vigilance is that price, you know, and Vigilance is honestly definitely worth it. This, no chance in hell. Like I said, if it was maybe 100, 200 credits, potentially. I will say, as you can see, the new parts look really cool, like the engine and stuff. But I don't think the pricing is kind of justified, just looking at it, you know? But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what you think. Are you a fan of this sort of thing, or would you rather, you know, like what would you pay like currently for it? But that's pretty much it, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and catch you in the next one. Bye bye.